DuckBoat Dispatch, episode number 38. Sara's here. I'm here, Tom Fisher-Feely. Sadly, Josh is not here with us. He had a long day last night working for the Super Bowl, so props to him pulling out the 4 a.m. shift. Credit to him where credit is due. Sadly, who did not work last night was the New England Patriots because they decided not to show up. Just an ugly game. Patriots lose Super Bowl 60, 29-13. What's that, a 16-point loss? It was never that close. It really was never that close, it felt like.
There was never a shot. I have so much I want to say, and part of me wants to yell and scream and like get in their faces and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what was that? But then the other part of me realizes that that's a young team. Drake Maye's in his second season with the Patriots. Stevenson, Gonzo, I think, and Hunter Henry probably are the only two that have been there longer than Drake Maye.
So there's a lot of free agents in the team. Gonzo, obviously, third year. Hunter Henry's been around the block for a little bit. He did some times in the Chargers. He's been here since Bill was here, so Henry's been here for a while. Sneaky. Yeah. Same with Marcus Jones, a few of those guys. But they are a very young team. And I know we talked about it. I don't want to get too much into the where do they go from here conversation. I think that's
I don't really give a fuck.
That's a next week convo. I think majority of the week, at least the first half of the week, I know we record once a week. But I feel like the first half of the week needs to be what the game was, where did things go wrong, how did the Seahawks just dominate the Patriots from bell to bell. And I think the first thing that we should start with is the offensive line. I think that was the big story. But before we get there, I'm not going to forget it. It's the biggest show of the year, Sara. I know you already got started, but why don't you try to set the tone for us real quick again before we really get into things?
I'm in mourning. I'm literally so dehydrated because I cried for the entire second half. Literally bawled my eyes out through the entire second half by myself on my couch. Mac got so fed up with it that he stood up, looked at me, and put his back to the TV. Like,
Mac's a dog, by the way, if you're new to the show.
Mac is my dog.
Mac is a dog, by the way.
He is my dog. Time listening. He's sitting with me right now in his camo hoodie. I kind of want to get him a Mac Hollins sweatshirt. And also, actually, that reminds me to all you fuckers out there that were not very happy or didn't really care when we signed Mac Hollins.
One of them right here.
Yeah. I was right. That's all I want to say.
I mean, for what he is good.
Uh-huh.
He's not that top-end wide receiver talent that I still want, and I think last night really showcased
But you know what? You know what? He was the one who showed up last night.
I mean, yeah, he was the best receiver on the Pats last night.
Where was Diggs?
Hey, Diggs had a rough day apparently yesterday, which we'll dive into a little bit. Diggs had a very rough day apparently.
You know what? I had rough days too, and I still had to go out and perform and give it my all.
I can't believe Cardi B dumped him at the Super Bowl.
You know what? Props to her. I'm sorry, but if my man was allegedly cheating on me, I would dump him at the Super Bowl too. I don't care. Well, actually, it depends what team he plays for. If he plays for the Patriots, I'll wait. But, like, I'm a Patriots fan, so, like, the good of my team. But I'm so sad. Like, I really, really needed this. I really, really needed a parade. And I will say, a part of me knew that there was no shot in hell of us winning that game.
Once they came up for the second half and then went 3 and out, I got very nervous. Because it was still it was a 12-point game?
Yeah, for a while. The fact that I wasn't nervous and I was being carefree about my superstitions, that's what made me nervous. Yeah, I do want to say though, Christian Gonzalez, you played your heart out.
He was awesome.
You played your heart out last night, so thank you. And then I'm kind of all over the place because I'm just like replaying things in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that really pissed me off, Jennings, I think it was in the fourth quarter, Jennings went to help Sam Darnold up. He was literally standing over him. And he reached his hand down to help him up. and Sam Darnold just looked at him and waited for his teammate to come over and offer him a hand, and then like pushed Jennings like out of the way. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Like, you're already beating us. I'm pretty sure there was like 5 minutes left in the game at this point. I'm like, you could have taken the dude's hand. It's not gonna hurt you. Like, it's really not. I don't know.
I mean, I
That
think
bothered me.
the punch to Diggs in the sideline in the fourth was a little bit more
That was
egregious.
fucked.
I was messed up,
Well,
no
that was
flag.
just,
They're
I'm
also
not
just not going
saying,
to toss someone at that point in the game. Unless it's egregious, they're not going to toss somebody in that point in the game.
okay, you still could have flagged him with like
Yeah,
unsportsmanlike
they should have
conduct
flagged him, but realistically, at that point in the game, it wasn't going to do anything.
or
The game was
unnecessary
over.
roughness.
But
He
yes,
didn't
it should
need
have
to
been
be
flagged.
ejected though, but but that's the thing. Like, that's what's so up and down about the NFL, and everyone's like, "Oh, Patriots fans bitch and complain, blah blah blah." Like, they have the refs in their back pockets. No, we fucking don't.
I thought the refs were
We
actually
never
fine last night.
have.
Like, they missed a
Oh no,
couple
I have
calls.
nothing.
They had missed
Yeah, I
they
mean,
missed an offsides and a punt, which would have
yeah.
given the Patriots a first down, and who knows how that changes it. The
And then
Cooper
they
Cup catch at
called.
the start probably wasn't a catch, and then
I
there
don't
was
think
like
it
a
was
block.
either. But you know what?
But that's a game with the refs. Like, they kept the flags in their pocket, which is what we all want in the Super Bowl. Unless it's
Yeah,
egregious,
yeah, yeah.
nobody wants to see a bunch of
Unless it's like clear cut textbook penalty,
yeah.
I don't care.
Um,
I think the only thing that I did want and missing the flag for would be the push on Diggs. I understand that it was late in the game. There was really no point of return for us. But still, like, you could have flagged him with misconduct or something like that. Or sorry,
yeah,
unsportsmanlike conduct.
just like situation in the game. It's whatever.
Just kind of like
Throw us
show
a
like,
bone.
hey,
Throw
like,
us a bone.
not even that. Just like follow your own fucking rules.
Fair.
So you're telling me, like, if that was in a regular season game and someone did that to Patrick Mahomes, they wouldn't be all up in arms about it?
Yeah, and obviously it depends who it is, but I like how you started
Which
with
it
Christian
shouldn't.
Gonzalez, because I
It
think that's how we
shouldn't.
should structure this. Because I know we're going to be all over the
Yeah.
place today. It's going to be a very bouncy
Yeah.
back and forth if you haven't figured out from the first
Yes.
8 minutes of the show. But I think we should start with what was good last night, and I think you highlighted it. Christian Gonzalez got paid last night. He was
Yeah.
spectacular. He was
It was
sensational.
amazing.
My dad says my favorite word is phenomenal. He was incredible last night. That game could have been like 45-7 without Christian Gonzalez, realistically.
But you know what? I'm happy it wasn't.
No, because that would have been a lot worse. Although I didn't have
That
a lot
would
of
have hurt my
Seahawks
ego
props.
a little too much.
I didn't have a lot of Seahawks props going last night, so that would have been a lot worse. But that play where he makes it in the first quarter, where he leaps and just barely tips the ball on a play that would have been a touchdown with Shaheed, and then he has another one with Shaheed, and he has that one in the end zone where he dives and tips it and nearly picks it off against JSN.
He had
was
that
really
in
good.
his hands too. He had that
Off
in
his
hands.
fingertips.
I know. Well, no, he literally, the ball was in the center of the triangle.
Yeah, it was like pause. It was like the tip
He
of the ball was
had
in his
it.
hands.
Yeah, but you
So
know
tough
what?
play.
He got it out of their hands. I don't care.
If you had
he
any
caught it
questions
or
about
not.
him being a shutdown corner, I think JSN, he was out of
answered
the
it.
game for a little while, like a concussion protocol thing or whatnot. I think he had like
JSN did nothing.
He was quiet that game. If you had told me the Seahawks were going to win 29-13, I would have
With
thought,
no
okay,
JSN.
JSN caught 3 touchdowns, was where I would have
Yeah.
gone with that. I really would not have thought
Also-
Kenneth Walker would have been the guy for the Seahawks.
I don't want to only give credit to Gonzo. I do also want to give credit to the defense.
Yes.
Our entire defensive line kept them out of the end zone the entire first half of the game.
Into the fourth quarter, they didn't score a touchdown.
And I also just want to point out that our defense, the Patriots defense, and the Seattle defense only allowed 2 touchdowns for either team. The only other touchdown, I believe, was when Drake Maye threw an incomplete or an interception.
It was like the scoop and it was like
It
that.
was
He
like
got
the
hit and he
strip
picked it off. It was the
fumble.
strip fumble
It was
interception.
originally the strip fumble, and then they came on like a few minutes later. They're like, actually, that's not a fumble. That's an interception. Whatever. It is what it is. It led to a touchdown. So that's where their 3 touchdowns came from. 12 of their points came from field goals.
Yeah, and the defense did their job holding them to field goals. Even the first touchdown, they're run committing. The Barner gets wide open on a post to the end zone. They run commit. That's how that one gets in. I mean, again, I don't want to take away from the Seahawks because it just seems like very.
I don't either.
It seems
I'm not saying that we were the better team. I'm not saying that the Seahawks are bad. I'm just saying I'm just pointing out what we did. I don't give a fuck about the Seahawks.
We're talking about things that were good. The Seahawks defense was
Yeah.
good. The Pats defense was good. Sam Darnold
Yeah,
was
but we
okay.
already
Like
knew that.
he
Sam Darnold did
he didn't
nothing
really
impressive in my mind.
he didn't impress me, and I don't want to take away. He had a remarkable career turnaround from flaming out with the
Yeah.
Jets to now being a Super Bowl champion. He's been on 5 different teams. He's reinvented himself, and he did enough to win the game. He didn't lose in the game.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the Patriots offense lost them that football game, clearly because they didn't score enough
Maybe.
points. But one
Yeah.
more good thing, defense was good,
What really,
and I think that's it.
I will say, unfortunately, Drake May decided to show up in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter.
That was a bunch of garbage time.
That
garbage
was so
time.
fucking. That was
He threw
when
for like
Stevenson got that
240 yards.
touchdown. When Stevenson got that touchdown in the fourth quarter, I was like, I literally don't give a fuck.
Now, if Drake May had thrown that, one of the worst interceptions, probably the worst throw of maybe his career.
Yes. So it has come out that he got. I was talking to my sister, and she is in
Do you
school
want to bring
to
up the
become.
shoulder?
Yes,
Okay,
that's
can
what
we-
I'm going towards.
Can we put a pin in this and bring it back when we get to May?
Fine. If
I
I
will
forget,
remind you, I
I'm gonna
promise.
blame you.
I'll remind
No, if I
because I
forget,
want
I'm
to bring it
gonna
up too
say.
because I think it's very lame. But we'll
Okay.
get to it. We'll get
Because
to it
I
later
had a
because I just want to get to.
I had a full in-depth conversation with my sister about it.
Because I just want to highlight. I want to stay in the good, the positive, like the good.
There's
from the
not
game.
much.
We're getting to the end of it, which is why we're gonna get to the offensive line very soon because I think that was the worst, and we'll go
I
through the
have
blame
one more
game.
good.
So
I
my
have one
last
more
good is
good.
that they're young, and I don't want to look ahead,
Yeah.
but that's the only good thing is they're
Yeah.
young, they're getting the experience. But on the flip side, no quarterback has lost in their second season in the Super Bowl and ever been back. So I'm a little worried about that. Marino, Kaepernick, Burrow, Purdy, and one more guy I'm forgetting. They all lost in their second year in the Super Bowl, and they've never been back. So, yes, they are young. Yes, they are set up for success, but history is not on their side.
Why would you tell me that?
Because
why would you tell me that?
Sarah, I just have to give you all the information.
I don't need all the information. I'm one of those people that you have to let me live happily in my oblivion.
I figured you had seen this. It's been all over
Oblivion?
Oblivious?
No, like oblivion, like happy in my like bubble.
Isn't Oblivion a
Like in
spell
my
from
own fantasy world.
Isn't Oblivion a spell from Harry Potter?
No, I don't think so.
Oblivious. You want to live
Oblivion is like
You want to be oblivious to some of
Oblivion
the
is like-
information.
yes, like I want to live in my own happy little bubble where I make shit up in my head and that we are still the number 1 team in the world. Technically, we're the number 2 team, and according to Abby Lee Miller, that's the first to lose. So
Yeah. But
Kill me.
that's my end of good things. Is the defense, specifically
I
Gonzalez.
have
I
one
want to
more
highlight
good
Gonzalez and that they're young. Sarah, why don't you close up like the positive before we
actually,
get real negative?
I have 2 more good things.
Look at you.
Mac Hollins, I
I
love
did
him.
forget about Matt Collins. Matt Collins had a good game.
I love him. I do. I really love him. Also, the inmate outfit, I didn't get the reference for that one, but he was walking in. For those of you who didn't see it, Matt Collins came in a prison jumpsuit. It was like a blood orange. It said Ranger on the back. He was in handcuffs or like hand chains and feet chains. He had one of those masks on that are used to cover your mouth. It like covers your nose, it goes under your eyes, and then the rest of your like jaw area and mouth. I believe it is for either inmates that are on like suicide watch or
It's just for the.
are
I've
like
just seen it in like
a threat of danger.
only seen it in like the psycho movies. If that makes
I've
the slasher
actually
movies.
seen it. I've seen it in like real life, like not in real life in person, but like on the news and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like usually it's like the high level criminals that have them. I believe it's to like stop them from like spitting and biting and like just using that area.
Being whack.
And then he was holding Mike Vrabel's high school jersey.
And then he wore it on the field, which I thought was tough.
And then he wore it on his field.
Than than that. Like,
I love the
walk-in outfit.
Warriors.
I didn't like the in-game, like the walk-in outfit. Like no, the
I
rain,
thought you
like
meant the
prisoner
Warriors
one.
thing. Okay,
I liked him wearing
Yeah.
the Vrabel high school jersey. I thought that was way tougher.
I loved that. And of course barefoot. How could you forget?
Yeah.
But yeah. So, and then my final good thing, it has nothing really to do with football, but I loved the halftime show personally. I love that kind of music, and I will say I got really, really excited because I was one of the people that wanted Cardi B to come out. Having Lady Gaga as a special guest, that threw me. That came out of left field for me. Did not see that connection whatsoever. Um, but I think Bad Bunny did an amazing job. I don't think he deserves any of the hate that he's getting. And I don't want to make this political at all because I'm really not a political person. But I think he did a great job.
So I mean, obviously, it's not my genre of music. I don't speak Spanish. I didn't really know a
Yeah,
word he was
and that's
saying.
fine.
But I thought like the
That's
story, like
fine.
the way that he was kind of incorporating like the Puerto Rican culture into the show with like the jobs
Yeah.
there and like the people getting married, I thought was super cool. Having a large,
So actually, fun
they
fact,
really got married.
that was a real couple, and they invited Bad Bunny to their wedding,
Bad
and in
Bunny.
turn, he said, "Come to the halftime, come do it on a halftime show, and I will
Yeah. So
marry
like I
you."
thought that was like that aspect of it, and
I loved that.
Like the Latin American, Puerto Rican, if that's even like the correct, like I'm not knowledgeable enough. Like the Puerto
I
Rican culture and
believe,
Latin American culture, like being
yeah,
showcased out, like with all
hmm
like the Latin American celebrities that were on the stage, like Cardi B, Pedro
yeah,
Pascal. Like I thought Jessica
loved
Alba is
that.
aging like fine wine. By the way, she is gorgeous.
I knew you were gonna say that.
That was the best part of the halftime show, and they didn't even get the camera on her at all. At one point in time, like I thought that was genuinely very cool. Giving that
Yeah,
culture a chance to shine at the
I
Super
loved
Bowl
that.
was super cool. Obviously, don't speak Spanish again. Didn't know a word he was saying, but I think genuinely, if you have a problem with the halftime show, so much other like I'm turning the TV off or I'm muting it, like you are the biggest loser ever. It's 15
Yeah,
minutes. It really isn't like it doesn't. It shouldn't affect you day to day. And if you wanted to go watch something else, go watch something else. Like it's 30 minutes.
like
Nobody's
it's, and
Nobody's
also
forcing you to
you
watch this.
don't exactly. And if you do watch something else, you turn it off. You don't have to make it your entire
I couldn't care
personality.
less if you went to a different halftime show. I really like if you
Like,
went
good
to
for
the
you,
alternative halftime show. It was Kid Rock. Like all the power
Kid
to you,
Rock,
Kid Rock. Like if that's what you want to watch,
Bryce,
it
bunch of
doesn't
like
affect
country
my day.
singers
It doesn't
and
affect my
Kid
day to
Rock.
day whatsoever. Like it really,
None at all.
and
I
it
don't
affects
care.
nobody's day to day. Like I don't really care what you did during the halftime show. You liked it, awesome. You don't like it, tell me why you didn't like it. I'm sure there's some sort of racial undertone underneath there at some point in time. But that's just kind of like my very basic non-political thoughts about the halftime show. Sarah liked
Yeah,
it. I mean, it is
I
ass
loved
shaking
it.
music. It is ass shaking music. So maybe Sarah was shaking ass
Well,
during the halftime show.
I've always loved, like, growing up, like,
You a salsa dancer? Because
I
I
can't,
can't salsa.
I was not a salsa dancer. I wish I was. But I've always like Gasolina has been one of my favorite
Well,
songs
they teased
my
us with
entire
that and you
life.
didn't play it.
I know.
That was the worst
Annie
part
and
of the
I got
halftime show.
so excited,
Like
and
that
he
would have been
only teased it.
that would have been cool
But
if we
I
just played
think
a
I would
bunch
have
of like
died.
the greatest like Latin American
Yes.
bangers, like just like
hmm
the cover. I thought the Lady Gaga cover was
Like
cool.
Danza
The,
Kudur. I can't.
the
I'm
one
gonna
from
butcher it,
Fast and
but
Furious
like,
3. The one from Tokyo Drift.
sure,
That's where it's
sure.
from.
But there's like
I think
so
it is.
many. Like Annie and I have an entire like Spanish music playlist, and we just listen to it on repeat. So like growing up, we've always loved that kind of music because it has such a good beat to it, and it's so easy to dance to, and it's just like infectious. Like I love it.
Yeah, so
Um,
you enjoyed it.
but
Good
I
for you.
did. I really did enjoy it, and also he's not bad to look at. So like, how could you not enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, if you liked it, all the power to you. If you didn't, all the power to you. I really couldn't care less people's opinion on the Super Bowl halftime show. I'd be shocked if they do it again.
I just
I feel like next. I
don't think.
personally, I would like a rock band again. Like the
Yeah,
Dr. Dre one. Like the halftime shows have been very
I didn't like
favored.
that.
I loved that halftime show.
I did not like
But you
that
were
one.
also. I know what
That
party you were
I
at for
think.
that. I was angry at that party and left. So like I know why you probably didn't enjoy that one.
Yeah, I did not love that one. Me personally, I loved Rihanna, but I'm a huge Rihanna fan. So the Kendrick one, I don't listen to Kendrick,
I like
but
the Kendrick one.
his choreography and the way he moved through it, it was I enjoyed it. I
The
thought it was
story.
really well thought out.
Maybe I'm a sucker, but the story that he told, the story that Bad Bunny told last night, like I enjoyed that. Like that's the
I
whole
loved
halftime show
that.
is like the pageantry of it, telling the story. I enjoy it.
Yeah,
Like call me a sucker.
yeah,
I went to film. I have a minor in film. Like call me a loser.
yeah.
Like it is what it is. But
Yeah, it was cool though.
we've been way too positive, Sarah. We've been way too positive. I
I
don't
know.
want to ruin. I feel like you're just getting out of this
Well,
depression a little
now
bit,
I'm in a positive mood.
and now I have to bring it back to the
Damn
tennis,
it.
and I feel bad about it. Like personally, I do.
Gosh darn it.
But this is what the
It's
people
fine.
want. They want to hear you. They want the objective analysis of the game. So let's hit them one at a
Or
time.
no, they want your analysis. They want my opinion.
All right, let's just hit it. Well, I never played, so maybe analysis isn't the right word. But either way,
You like went to school for it and stuff.
I went to school for
Or was it
broadcasting,
you or
not
Josh?
football. We both did. I
Fair.
went to school to broadcast. But let's get to
I went to school for football.
yeah. But let's break it down. Let's
be
Let's
honest.
try to take it a little structured. There's no prep today whatsoever. Let's just hit them one at a time. I think we should start with what I think, and maybe we can disagree on this. What I think was the biggest issue last night was the offensive line. I think we should start there, and we'll move systematically through what we thought the problems were last night until we're done. Does that sound good?
Yeah, hold on. Defense played like shit. Bro, you're a moron.
Someone commenting?
You mean offensive line?
The offensive line.
Because our defense played
Well, you
great.
can do that, Sarah. I do just want to.
Sorry.
No, there's just
Just
a little.
live me answering.
Yep, no, you're good. There is
I went to high school with him, so it's
okay.
fine.
There is a little breaking news that I do want to touch on
What?
before we get there. It's not
What?
football related. It's basketball related.
I literally don't give two fucks.
Jason Tatum is practicing. Back to practice, so he should be returning. Hey, Sarah, this is all we're gonna have for a while, okay? Because the Red Sox are not gonna be good. I want to give you. This is all we're gonna have.
And this is when my seasonal depression hits, people.
It's okay.
And it's going to be more severe this year because I got a taste of what my life used to be.
Yep. So Tatum's
And I
practicing
got
with
it
the Maine
ripped
Celtics,
away.
which is good news for Celtics fans. The offensive line. Will Campbell. I don't think Will Campbell's a left tackle. I don't think he's a left tackle. I think last night on 26% of the pass dropbacks, he allowed pressure. 14 pressures allowed from Campbell alone. That's the worst, and that's like literally one of the worst offensive line performances of all time.
That's like hard for me though. And like the only reason I'm holding out hope, this is hard for me because I'm trying to be like more positive. That was like my New Year's resolution, is to be a more positive person. Because I'm so fucking negative. It's really bad. I also I'm like depressed, so I'm going to swear a lot. I'm sorry, Mrs. Crucifili. I'm just going to apologize now.
She is a little worried about you. I told her we were recording. She goes, "How's Sarah doing?" I go, "It's ugly, Ma." I'm like, "It's ugly, Ma. It's a bad night."
Xander was watching with his friends, and his best friend grabbed the phone.
Can we just give a round of applause for the show GOAT? Like, just not putting up, but handling it with grace and bravado.
Who?
Xander, just shouting out Xander, the way he's handling the situation. He's being a GOAT. He's being a great boyfriend.
He told me to stop crying.
Not bad advice.
No,
what else to do at this point? But the offensive line, Will Campbell.
It breaks my heart because I want to say he was okay at the start. The first couple of weeks he's a rookie. Like, we're watching him, we're like, shaky. This was good. Okay, this needs to be worked on. Oh, that wasn't good. Oh, he did great here. Oh, well, that's another thing he needs to work on. Oh, that was horrible. And then he got hurt. And ever since he came back from being hurt, it's just been, where's Will Campbell?
And that is the tough thing when it comes to evaluate, because we don't know.
Yeah.
And it'll come out at some point, and I think blaming injuries is the softest thing you can do in sports when you lose a game like that. How much this affected him.
Here's my thought about that, though. Was he rushed back?
I think
because he got injured so close to playoffs. I don't think he was either. So most athletes, like if you're watching the Olympics, Lindsey Vonn tore her ACL, still decided to compete with it, and then was airlifted off the mountain. So if you're hurt, sit your ass down. Okay? Okay. So I just don't, part of me, I love Will Campbell. And I love the friendship he has with Drake Maye. I am very scared that he will be leaving the Patriots in the offseason, and I kind of want to save that for later, but that's just my thought for right now. Is there a possibility for us to find a place for him on this team?
Yeah.
Where he will excel?
It is. So what they'll do is they'll just slide everyone to the right. So they'd get Jared Wilson to center, they'd move Campbell to left guard, and they'd find a new left tackle. So you don't have to worry about Campbell going anywhere.
Okay.
If you're worried about
Good.
that, take that off your shoulders. He's going nowhere.
I just didn't know what his contract was looking
He
like.
was just drafted last year, so he's got 4 years under contract.
Okay.
So he's on the rookie deal. So he's not going anywhere. You don't need to worry about that. So Campbell's here to
that.
stay. Where he
Yay.
plays, though, is the conversation.
Change it. Don't care.
Yeah. Is he moving to left guard? Is he going to stay at tackle? How much of the injury?
Yeah.
But he was bad last night. I mean, the play where the guy was blocked, he blocked somebody into Jared Wilson. And that guy, like Jared Wilson, was
and
trying
then
to block,
they landed on
sack Drake Maye.
Yeah. And then I think the ball came out then too.
I don't think the ball came out. No, the only time the ball came out was on a throw. Maye got hit while throwing, and it popped up towards the right sideline, or the sideline to the top of your screen near Austin Hooper and went out of bounds. And then the strip sack, where Garrett Bradbury, Will Campbell, I think Morgan Moses just kind of looked at the ball. So that was great to see. Nobody died from the ball. That was really awesome to see in a situation where they really needed the ball back at that point in time. But ultimately, like, that didn't matter. Like, they weren't scoring. They couldn't move the football. And I think it's poetic in a sense. And I said this on the Instagram video if you saw it. It's poetic in a sense. And I don't like poetry, but I love when things rhyme like this in sports. I don't know, like poetry at all, like the actual poems. But when sports rhyme, I think it's beautiful. It's poetic because going into the season, the biggest worry a lot of us had was the offensive line. And at the end of the day, what did them in was the offensive line. It just wasn't good enough. And
How do you love that?
I like how it
pisses me
circles back
off.
in that sense, where it's like, okay, it's I didn't say I love it. It's poetic in a sense.
So it's a circle.
Yeah, it's poetic that it all came back to the offensive line of the Super Bowl in a sense.
Actually, let's hope it's more like a spiral because spirals have an end and circles don't.
I'm just going to loop back together. I think it's poetic in a sense that was the biggest fear. They go on this miraculous season, and it comes back to the offensive line kind of fell apart. Not kind of. The offensive line was really bad in the Super Bowl. But that wasn't the only issue in the Super Bowl. Let's not get it twisted. Like, offensive line wasn't great, but a lot of facets of the game weren't great. The streak, okay, so he does it every year, and he bets on it, and he makes a bunch of money, is what I saw.
Oh, smart.
Kyle Williams did tackle
What, does he spend like a night in jail or something?
Something like that. He spends like a night in prison.
How many stadiums is he banned from?
I have no clue, but that's just what I've been seeing online. Any other thoughts on the offensive line? Like, Campbell was terrible. He probably won't be a left guard. He'll probably won't be a left tackle. He'll probably move to guard.
Who's the guy right next to him? Is that Wilson?
Yeah, Wilson.
He didn't play great either.
No, the left side of the line was really bad.
That whole left side just kind of fell apart.
He didn't play good, but Campbell played really bad.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like putting all the blame on one person because it's a team. It's a team effort.
Don't worry, because we're going to get to the coaching in a second. We're going to bounce through it all before we get out of here, Sarah. So we're going to blame everybody.
But like, that's what hurts me is because like I still love them. Now, if this was any other team, I'd like pick them apart, no problem. But like at the end of the day, this is my team, and I still love the Patriots. And we're on a break right now because I need to sort out my feelings.
All right. Well, let's figure out our feelings in the coaching because. We'll end with Drake Maye because I think we'll rank him at the end. But let's get to the coaching because I thought the play calling was
horrible.
I thought it was awful. I thought it looked like week one Josh McDaniels, where I was like, this is the most unimaginative play calling.
That's actually what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. He kept saying, "Oh, I just love when you decide to keep running into men."
So that's another issue. Travion Henderson might have some of the worst vision in between the tackles I've ever seen in my entire life. You get him. And I don't get how this is so complicated because we all know, like, we know, never played a snap of football, watch football, love football. Travion Henderson cannot run inside between the tackles, it seems like. You get him on the Jets. They had 2 jet sweeps and he went for 9 yards on both the jet sweeps and never brought it back. But he is literally obsessed with running into the ass of offensive linemen.
Yeah. Maybe he's trying to tell us something.
He just got married, I'm pretty sure.
Hey, he did Rivalry, man.
I didn't watch that. We're not talking about Heated Rivalry right now.
Ilya Razanov, I love him. I'm an Ilya Razanov girl. That's all I have to say.
All right, how do you feel about the coaching, the game plan? I thought the game plan was pathetic. It was terrible.
You know, I'm also sick of people saying to me, well, that's his slot. That's his route. That's what he was told to do. Blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, they give you that play to get the first down. So if you look up and you're like, shit, that hole, my designated hole is closed, but that one's open, go through the open one. What are you going to do? Like fall through a trap door?
And
get yelled at?
it was really jarring to see because then you go on, then when
awful.
the Patriots are on defense and Kenneth Walker, who ran all over the field last night, the way he was patiently waiting for his blockers to get set up. And then he found the open gap and took the open and given two different types of runners. Kenneth Walker is a much more explosive back. Or not an explosive, he's a much more aggressive, like harder, bigger, thicker back. Henderson's the more explosive back. It just, I don't know why we were trying to do, like the inside runs should be Stevenson. And then the outside runs to the edges should be Henderson. And I know you can't do that every time because it signals to the defense what you're doing. But that's pretty much where they excel. Why are we going away from that? I just don't get why we kept trying Henderson up the... Not that Henderson had a ton of touches, but it seemed every time he's just in the ass of an offensive lineman.
I think the only time Henderson played decently is when he ran to the outside.
Literally.
And also, Henderson, you're supposed to cross the first down, not land just before it.
I mean,
just
that was...
a pro tip for you.
Getting 9 yards on the first...
I know they don't have the yellow line. I know they don't have the yellow line on the field.
It is tough to remember that sometimes. We don't have the yellow line.
I know. But I'm like, Xander was with his friends, and I always FaceTime him through the game. And I literally just I'll look at him. This is what he gets. And then he'll talk to me. I'll just be like, but I heard him saying he is an interesting friend that was there. And he's kind of the friend that we all just make fun of. Like, he's just the easy target. He's a champ. He takes it really well. But he goes, what's the yellow line mean? And Xander just looked at me. I looked at him and I was like, did he just ask that?
That's why you don't go to Super Bowl parties.
Literally. Well, it was literally Xander and 4 of his friends that were on island.
Fair. We had 2 guys over last night. Anyways, I didn't love the play calling. I didn't love the game plan.
I hated it.
And this is not an original take. I heard it a lot today at work. It seemed like they were still playing in the second half of that Denver Broncos game on offense, where they were just kind of conceding possessions and being like, okay, the defense will make something happen here. And I love Mike Vrabel. He is coach of the year, coach of the future for the next decade, hopefully, with the Patriots. He had some decisions where I was like, what are we doing here, Big Mike? I thought they should have gone for 2 after the score. I thought there was a few 4th downs they should have gone for. And I think on 3rd and 5, you don't run a draw play.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much effect he has on that last one. But that was
true.
My big issues.
I mean, I kind of always thought the head coach had the final say.
So
the play calling, or is it the boys upstairs?
Vrabel's talked about this. If he wants a specific play, he said he has acknowledged through his coaching faults at Tennessee and time coaching, he needs to get it over to Josh because Josh McDaniels is the ultimate play caller, the OC. He's calling the plays. He realizes that he needs to get it in right after the play is done. Because then he gives time, hey, I think we should try to find a look that favors this situation or that situation. And if he does that too late in the process, then Josh is trying to sub guys on the field, sub guys off the field, call in a different play. So that's when it comes down to that, that's his role in the play calling. I'm sure it's involved. Okay. But what he doesn't go, call this play now, because then it gets everything out of whack. So he keeps his input. It's quick.
It's all about timing.
Yes, he gets it in there quick so McDaniels can make the decision with the guys upstairs and everything along those lines. The coaching, which I thought was the biggest strength, they were out-coached, and Mike McDonald's a great coach.
Yeah, he's okay.
He's a great one of those great young coaches in the league.
Whatever. Hey, Mike Vrabel's young, and he's more attractive.
Mike Vrabel's 50, I believe, and Mike McDonald's
still young.
Mike McDonald's 38. 38.
He's the third 36-year-old coach to win the Super Bowl, I think. I'm not going to lie. 38. My prescription needs to be changed. Okay. I was just going to say.
I know what graphic you're talking about. It
said it on the bottom of the TV.
No, the graphic was 38 years old.
Did I read it wrong?
Sean McVay and Mike Tomlin, youngest Super Bowl head coach, 36. Yes.
Okay. Got it. That was confusing.
The only reason I know he's 38 is because I saw that graphic.
I don't know. I'm just. Also, if you see me, don't talk to me about it, please. Like, don't be like, "Oh, how are you?" I don't want to talk about it.
So I'll make it very
I
clear
really don't.
before we move on to Drake May, because I think we've kind of tapped out on the coaching, our thoughts on the coaching. But before we instead of just keep circling back to the same thoughts, Sarah wanted to record today. I'm not forcing her here against her will. She
No, I
decided she
did.
wanted to
I
record.
did. I
I was
did.
gonna let it go for the day, and then she said let's record today. So I'll be very clear after
Because
that last statement.
you need to, you,
It's the
I
stages
needed
of
to get
grief.
everything out of my head. Like, I needed to talk about it. Even like my teacher, so my lead teacher is a huge Patriots fan, and I got there late today because I obviously stayed to watch the Super Bowl. And then I had some stuff to do in the morning, but I got to school around 11:30, and I walked in. She looked at me. She goes, "Want to talk about it?" I was like, "Nope." She goes,
Nope.
"Good, me either."
Perfect.
And I was like, "Deal." And then about 30 minutes later, we're standing across the room yelling at each other. We're like, "Well, they didn't even show up. Well, he did this. Well, he didn't do that." And we look down, there's a bunch of 4-year-olds in between us. We're like, "We'll chat later." I'm like, cool.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was, and then even the parents know that I'm a huge Patriots fan. One of the moms actually was like, "Sarah," and like gave me a big hug. And I was like, thanks.
Yeah, it's just
And then her daughter, like, it was just one, like, her kid gave me a big hug and was like, "It's okay, Miss Sarah." And then later on goes, "Did they win?" I'm like, "Girl,
no,
did you watch the game?"
no.
She goes,
Um,
"I went to bed after Bad Bunny." And I was like,
Fair enough.
okay.
Fair enough. I mean, it is late for a
I was
young
like,
child.
okay.
But let's move on because I know you want to talk about Drake
Yeah,
May,
but
and he is. I want to make this very clear before we get into Drake May, because there's a lot of people doubting him.
okay.
There's a lot of people. Unless you had
I
more thoughts
don't.
on coaching,
I don't.
perfect. We're in sync right now. Somewhat.
I'm just all over the place.
We're doing our best here. When it comes to Drake May, there are a lot of people today, especially New England fans, calling him a fraud, calling him the schedule. I still believe in Drake May. I believe he's the franchise of this team. I believe he will win another Super Bowl. I'm worried about it because of the history of quarterbacks in their second year making the Super Bowl and never getting back. So nothing's guaranteed.
History is only a problem if you make it a problem.
Yeah.
It's
However,
not a fact.
I believe he's the
Like, it's
franchise. I
fine.
believe he's a future MVP. I still want him as my. I'm still glad. I'm still unbelievably thankful he's my quarterback. He was terrible last night, and really, we have been beating around the bush. He was bad all postseason.
He was fucking horrible. Can we get Trevor now? Why?
Um,
Can he be a backup?
I'm not paying. We're not paying 30 or whatever he's making $1 million a year for a backup
Why?
because that's just terrible cap management.
Remember what the Bruins did with Jeremy Swayman and
Linus
Olmark?
Olmark. That doesn't work at the
Yeah, I was trying to
quarterback
think of
position.
its first name.
Doesn't
Yeah, I
work in the
know.
quarterback position. But
Why not?
he was bad, Sarah. I mean, man,
I know.
the moment looks too big for him. It really did.
Well, everyone's like, "Oh, he got stage fright." I don't think he got stage fright. I think he just someone drugged him and was like, he was like, like the shit they give you for like for when you get your wisdom teeth
Yeah,
out
anesthesia.
and you wake up and you have no freaking clue. No, it's like laffy gas.
It's called
It's
anesthesia.
general anesthesia. Or not that, but like the
No,
laffy
it is
gas
that.
they give you,
It is that.
and you're just like, no,
You're out of it.
that's not what I meant. That's not what I
Okay.
meant. I meant like laffy gas.
Okay.
Anesthesia's too strong. Like, I think it was fucking with him. Like it was like he was high.
I
It was literally lights on, no one's home.
he looked
Like,
so nervous and rattled out there. He looked unlike himself.
Like, where was calm, cool, collected?
He was the opposite of what we have known about Drake May. He was terrible.
The thing I wanted to say earlier was I do think that he was not 100% shoulder-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that guy does not look American. Jeez. Sorry, I'm watching the Olympics in the background. Love my country. Kind of mad at the Patriots right now. But he was injured. He has a shoulder injury. I'm going to be honest, I don't know when or how he received said injury. So Tom, if you know anything and want to shed light, go ahead. But I do believe that he was not at 100%. And I also believe very much so that Joshua Dobbs would not have been able to handle the situation. Sorry, Broncos fans, but we don't have a Jared Stidham.
So the reports of when he got
Now,
injured are mixed.
if we had a Brock Purdy, that'd be okay.
Maybe if they had
But we
Joe
don't.
Milton. So the reports of when he got, no one really knows when he got injured. And I talked about the shoulder injury.
Know.
I admittedly downplayed it last week. I thought he was going to be fine. I thought it was overstated. I was clearly wrong. I was very wrong. The shoulder affected him, and I think it's a cop out of me to come out and say that's why they lost.
Yeah, but it did.
But it's true. It affected him. It's not why they lost.
Theory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, theory. What if his shoulder's been bothering him all through postseason, and that's why he's been playing like absolute dog shit?
So that's
But he just didn't say anything.
There were reports that he was dealing with it going into the Broncos game, and then it was after the Broncos.
Okay.
So it was sometime. Nobody really knows when. I'm sure we'll get more information about that afterwards, especially since he. So, post game, he literally said, "Yeah." They were like, "How's the shoulder?" And he was like, "I can't even feel it. They just shot it up before the game." So obviously, shoulder was a much bigger thing.
What's my other theory?
Yeah, they shot him up. He had no feeling in his shoulder. They shot him up.
Not even that, but dude, if your arm is numb, how the fuck are you supposed to play football?
Yeah, so the shoulder affected him. I thought it wasn't a big deal. Yeah. I was wrong. Hand up accountability. I was wrong. I thought he was gonna be fine. He was not fine. It affected him. It's not why they lost though. His accuracy was off. His timing was off. He was humming some of those balls in there, and I get it because the zones were super tight on the Seahawks defensive side of the football. But overall, his presence in the pocket was just not there last night. He was holding onto the ball way too long, and I haven't gone back and
he was holding onto it way too long or getting rid of it way too early.
Yeah, I don't think he got rid of it early and soon enough at all.
He did a few times.
At some point in time, I'll go back and watch it.
Stevenson.
At some point this week, I'll go back and watch it because I'm really curious about how the receivers looked. Because my first thought after that game was, man, this blows. Second thought was, okay, their offensive line was not good enough. We found that out. They came back to bite them, and the receivers are not good enough. Those are my thoughts. And yeah, you're good. Because Drake Maye, obviously, not a good enough game. He looked nervous. He was shaky. He was holding onto the ball way too long. Now, I'm curious what that was. Coverage was really good. The Seahawks secondary, again, I underrated the Seahawks defense going into the game. I was wrong about a lot of things last week, which we found out obviously last night. But were the receivers even open is what I'm wondering. Or was it he just wasn't willing to he was so in his own head, like he didn't want to make that mistake that cost him the game, that he was too carefree, he was too cautious with the ball, and he wasn't willing to let it fly, and he was holding onto the ball, and his movement around the pocket, he wasn't as slippery as he usually is. He got sacked 6 times, so Sam Darnold's 1. It was a bad game for Drake Maye. And again, I am still on the Drake Maye bandwagon. I am still a believer in Drake Maye. I think he will be back. I think he'll be a league MVP. He fell 1 vote shy of an MVP for a reason. And I think if you bring up the schedule, I think that's a weak argument. It was a bad game on the most important stage, but he had been pedestrian all postseason, so I think it brings more weight to the shoulder theory, Sarah, that he had been dealing with it longer than we all suspected. If that is, I think it's good for Patriots fans that, okay, our quarterback looked pedestrian, not because of he was playing really good defenses at the moment. It was his shoulder literally was killing him. I think as a better
not to mention, for the people that don't keep up with Drake Maye and his shoulder injury, it was his throwing arm. So it's his throwing shoulder that he injured. I will say he was still dropping dimes.
He had some really bad passes.
I know, but
the Mac Hollins pass was really good. The 2 Mac Hollins passes were really good. He had
I just
an awful
love
throw to
Mac
Hollins, though. He had
I know.
Shut up, Mac Hollins, for deflecting that.
I fucking love him. I sign him. I want him to be on my team for the rest of my life. My cousin went to the Super Bowl. He was texting me the whole time. I think this is the most my cousin I've ever really texted. Also, shout out to him. I doubt he'll see this, but I love him. He's great. He was texting me the whole time. We weren't talking during the game because obviously I don't go on my phone during the game. But I want to say to him so badly that Pedophiles and Bateses are not allowed at the Super Bowl anymore. Because when my family went, we lost.
He lost.
When he went, they lost. I'm going to be honest, I feel bad telling him to go because I had a little feeling in my stomach that it wasn't going to go the way we wanted to, but I just chalked that up to nerves. Speaking on nerves, another theory is, I'm saying theory because we're never going to know what was going on in Drake May's head unless he decides to share. But I think a lot of it was nerves. I don't believe that UNC won a championship in his time there. So has he ever been on a championship? Has he ever played in a championship game? I don't know. Has he ever felt that kind of pressure? I don't know. Can he handle it? I believe that he can now that he's had the experience of being there and not playing his greatest game of the season. In my opinion, it was his worst game of the season. But I do believe that he got in his head and for the life of him could not get out of it. I think he was thinking about his shoulder. I think he was thinking about all the fans. And he even said in his press conference that he didn't want to disappoint anyone, especially all the family and friends that flew out, all the fans that flew out. So I think he just he has the pressure of being in the Super Bowl as a second-year quarterback. And then on top of that, he put all this pressure on himself to not let anyone down. And when you do that, you just kind of spiral. And it's like you're trying to get a breath of fresh air and you just can't do it. So I think also maybe the painkillers that they shot up in his shoulder maybe had an effect on him.
The T. I don't know what the hell it's called. It begins with a T, is all I know. T or something.
I
That's
don't
what
know.
it begins with. I don't know. I heard somebody say it earlier in the week.
Toranol? I have no.
Yes, it's along those lines.
I don't know any.
It's close to that word right there that you just said.
Torpudonol? I don't know. I don't know any painkillers. But I will say, like, as someone who I have like really, really bad kidney stones, so I've been on morphine. I've been given like Toradol. I think I have actually.
And they shoot them up with it right before the game.
Offered to me once,
and it goes numb for like 4 hours.
But that's the thing, though, is that even like when I have been in the hospital before, they've given me morphine, and that knocked me out. Like, it messes with you. There is no drug out there, painkiller, maybe Advil, but Advil doesn't really do shit. There's nothing out there that isn't gonna affect you in your whole body. So he was looking slow out there. Maybe the Toradol had an effect on him. Like, I'm actually gonna look up the side effects.
All right. Well, while you wiki how that, or wiki doc or whatever the hell it's called. It's just like the moment was too big. The moment was too big, and it's a learning experience which he'll be able to use for the rest of his career. And I think I agree with you, Sarah. The shoulder definitely affected him. The moment was too big, but I think it's a cop out to the shoulders the whole reason why he played poor. The defense had him rattled. He was rattled. What are the side effects, Sarah?
What are the side effects of Toradol? Headache, dizziness, drowsiness, and then the rest are just like stomach shit.
All right.
No
maybe
pun
he
intended.
just pants them more now. They were wearing white. We would have known.
Yeah, true. Headache, dizziness, ringing in the ears, drowsiness. Sores in the mouth. Yikes.
But yeah, it was
lack of energy, pale skin, fast heartbeat.
I mean, he was processing too slow, and I'm not saying this because of the shoulder. He had a bad game. And it was a really bad time to have a bad game when it's very clear that he was the offense. It's not.
Yeah.
You watch the game with the offense. The wide receivers weren't getting open. I'm going to go back and watch it at some point and see what the separation was like. He obviously missed some throws. There's a couple times where he rolled up to his right, and I remember one where Diggs was opening the slant, and he just couldn't get the ball up before he got sacked. So not a good game. It's going to be held against him all offseason, though. Like, the amount of noise you're going to hear about Drake May's a fraud, Drake the schedule, Maye, this and that. And I hope it fuels him. This was a team that genuinely, especially the defensive side of the football, they thrived on the noise. They thrived on being doubted. They thrived on being underdogs. And I hope that rubbed off on Drake Maye. I want to be
underdogs.
And
whatever.
I hope that the noise gets to him and it makes him better.
I do too. But I hope that if it gets overwhelming, he turns it off.
He doesn't seem like somebody that is on social media that much to me.
It doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter, though. When he goes into the media rooms.
Yeah, and he'll let his time off, and hopefully he'll get his mind right.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I want him to maybe go back to North Carolina for a little bit, see his family, spend some time where he grew up or at home, like where he's comfortable. Or, stay in Boston. Stay where you are now and build your life. Stay off socials, keep sports channels off, and just focus on your life with Ann Michael. Do what you need to do to get yourself to where you want to be next season. Don't do anything for the fans. Don't do anything for your coaches. Don't do anything for the team. Do it for you.
Yeah, and
Because
I
at
think
the end of the day, that's the most important thing.
and I think it'll be really interesting to see how he responds. And it is yet to be 24 hours. I think tomorrow's garbage day at Gillette Stadium, where guys start cleaning out their lockers and there's some open media
Yeah.
availability. So we'll see what comes out tomorrow. I know Will Campbell had a bad look last night where he refused to talk to media. I mean, that's
I
not going
don't
to go.
blame him.
I
I don't
get the
blame him.
human element of it, but it looks worse every time you don't talk to the media. And I
But you
understand the
know
human
what?
element.
You know what? I personally, you wouldn't want to talk to me.
No, and I'm sure he could have given the generic "I didn't play well" 5 times over and walked away. It's just it's not talking to the media makes it a bigger story than it needs to be. And I get why he didn't, but it's a little bit of okay. You tucked your tail between your legs and you walked away.
I don't see it that way. He was protecting his own peace. He knew what he did. He knew he fucked up. And you know what? I give him props for not talking to the media when he didn't want to. You shouldn't, this is a free country. You are allowed to say no. And people need to respect when you say no. So the fact that Will Campbell did not feel comfortable talking to the media, he didn't have a great performance out there. I'm going to be honest, he did not play well at all. So he knew that. He clocked it. And he probably said to Vrabel, hey, I know I didn't play well. I know I didn't do what I needed to do tonight. I really don't want to hear it because I get like that too. So I get it. And you know what? I'm going to clap for you because, you kept your own peace. And that's what you need to do, especially when you're in the limelight like that.
All right, so I mean, we could go round and round about Drake May, specific
We
play
could.
that didn't go well, but I don't want to keep doing that.
I
I
don't
think to
either.
close it out, we talked about the offensive line, the coaching, Drake May. How would you rank? Where's the blame go? What are you blaming the most? What are you blaming the least between those three series? I think those are the big three contributing factors to
I
why we
think
aren't celebrating a parade today.
I think I'm just gonna blame the offense as a whole. There were good players on there, like Matt Collins stepped up when he needed to. Hunter Henry, I feel like he did something. I'm
I actually
blanking
don't know
right
if Hunter
now,
Henry
but
touched the ball.
I don't think
I
he
know he
did.
got
I know
le-
he was targeted.
I know he got leveled on a
He had a few
2 point conversion.
targets. Yeah, but I just Ramondre Stevenson, you could tell he was trying. He was just not breaking through anything. I will say though, Stevenson, you held on to the ball. Good job.
He didn't fumble.
Yeah, thank God.
So you
But
get so I'm gonna make you pick because I think saying the whole offense is a cop out as a whole because they are all
I'm not
awful.
gonna pick.
You won't
I'm
go.
not
You
gonna
won't
pick
rank
because
line May coaching. You won't go in that order or something like that.
no, I'm gonna go with the offensive side of the team. I think that as a whole, they did not show up. I think as a whole, they did not do anything to change that. So I'm gonna place the blame on them. It is a team sport. It's not an individual sport.
All right, so I'm gonna close it out. I think that most of the blame, I think you put it on the O line. I think that's where you go. Number one, you got to protect the quarterback. They couldn't protect the quarterback. May didn't have time to do what he needed to do. And then you go Drake May. I think he ultimately has the ball in his hands. He missed a lot of throws. He was rattled. He took too many sacks. He took too long with the football. And then I think you go with the coaching and the game plan and Josh McDaniels. And they can only do. There's only so much they can do to set their team up for success. And if you have an offensive line that can't block and a quarterback who can't hit the throws that he usually hits, it's going to be really hard. The run game wasn't working well at all because again, the offensive line was getting manhandled out there. So I think that's the right
Mm-hmm.
order to rank it. If you want to go May O line, specifically Will Campbell, and then coaching or whatnot, I think if you put coaching above them, I think that's a cop out. I mean, at the end of the day, the players have the ball in their hands. They have to make the plays happen. But I think that's we're going to end it
Yeah,
today, Sarah, because my dinner is ready. I'm starving, and we could kick the can around for another 4 hours about
we
the Super
could.
Bowl
We
and what
really could.
happened and what went wrong. But I think we covered all of our bases in a
I
well
think
in
so.
a timely manner. In a timely
I
manner.
agree.
But that's going to
It
be,
was okay.
we bounced around a lot. It was very tough to listen to. But this
Sorry.
episode, the thoughts are jambled today. They're scrambled. We're bouncing all over the place. It was an ugly game. It was a really bad Super Bowl, probably one of the worst Super Bowls in recent memory.
Oh, actually, real quick, I've totally forgot I wanted to mention this. I just want to say the sports commentators for NBC, fuck you.
So Mike Tirico, the play-by-play, I think is wonderfully talented. Chris Collinsworth, I can see
I'm
what getting on
talking
your
about.
nerves last night.
Mhm.
Because when you're losing, there's nothing worse than hearing, "Oh, here's a guy." Nothing worse than that.
No, I don't even I don't care about that. It's the fact that he did not feel the need to say one positive thing about the Patriots the entire night. He could have said, "Oh, look at Christian Gonzalez out there. He just had a hell of a play. Oh, that Patriots defense, he's keeping them out of the end zone." Not one thing. All I heard was, "This is the worst this is the worst team or worst Super Bowl playmaking I've ever seen in the Super Bowl, blah blah blah. The Patriots, the worst performance in Super Bowl history." Like I didn't need that. I really didn't need that, and I'm sure no other Patriots fan needed to hear that either.
I mean, it's tough to hear that
So
when you're losing. I mean, but it was like the offense was
it's not it's
historically bad. It was
I think
historically
I
bad.
get it. I get it. I get it, but I did not need to hear it every 15 minutes.
Fair.
I really didn't.
I
And
think
say it once.
I think true.
Make a note of it. Make a note of it. Cool. Also, I think it's really bothering me because that's how it's always been for the Patriots. When I went to the Super Bowl in 2018, I felt like I was in Philadelphia. I really did. Every replay was something about the Eagles. They did their stupid frickin' chant every 30 seconds. To this day, when I spell the word Eagles, that's what plays in my head. I literally spell it Eagles, and then I say Eagles because that is ingrained in my brain. That's the one thing I took away from that frickin' Super Bowl. But we don't need the hate. We really don't. We're gonna get it. We're always gonna have it.
It's gonna be a loud summer.
Oh, I know.
Or a loud
But
off
that
season.
I can handle. That I can handle. That I can handle. It's during the game. That's when I don't want to hear it. And I'm sorry.
All right. Well,
That's all I had to say.
it's going to do it for episode 38 of the DuckBoat Dispatch. You can find us on YouTube at the DuckBoat Dispatch. Make sure you subscribe, comment, like. On Instagram, TikTok, at the DuckBoat Dispatch. Make sure, again, like, comment, share, be a friend, tell a friend, repost it. Sharing is caring, goes a long way. We're on Apple and Spotify if you want more of an audio version of the podcast. You don't want to look at our
We're on
faces.
Apple?
Apple Podcast and Spotify. I've been putting it in my
Cool.
bag as of late, figuring out how to use this whole platform.
Nice.
So you can find us there as well, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We'll be back next week. Like we said earlier, some more reaction. I think we'll get some of Josh's knee-jerk reactions a week later next week.
Yeah.
See where we stand on the game, and then we'll start looking ahead. We'll look ahead to what the Patriots need to do in the offseason to improve this roster. And then, Sarah, you're going to hate what I'm going to say. We're going to start talking Boston Celtics, Boston Red Sox, and Boston Bruins. So we're in Sarah's depressing time of the season, but we're going to get you through it for all the sports needs, all your Boston sports talk right here. So make sure you subscribe.
I do like the Bruins.
The Bruins part of the team will talk the least. That's a problem for the future, Sarah. We'll be back next week with Josh to see how this Patriots team needs to move forward.